Hello everyone, this is Sunny Seth, Assistant Professor Mathematics. In my previous two videos, I have demonstrated how to find the initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem by northwest corner rule and by least cost method. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to find the initial basic feasible solution of a transportation problem by Vogel's approximation method, also known as penalty method. In all the three videos, I have considered the same example so that we can compare out of these three methods of initial basic feasible solution, which method is the best one. So again, it is the same problem, which is a balanced problem. As you can see, the total supply is 34 and the total demand is also 34. When total supply and total demand are equal, we call the transportation problem is a balanced transportation problem. So in order to find its initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation method, we have to rewrite it in the tabular form in this manner. Now the thing which we have to adopt in this Vogel's approximation method is, for each row and for each column with the cost matrix, we are supposed to find out the penalties of not allotting to the least cost in that row or column. So how do we find the penalties is, for every row or for every column, we look at the minimum number, the next minimum number, their difference. So the first stage penalty row wise will be, in the first row of S1 source, you can see the minimum number is 2 and the next minimum is 4. So difference of 2 and 4 is 2. So the penalty for the first row is 2. For the second row, the minimum is 1 and the next minimum is 3. Therefore, the difference is 2. So penalty is again 2 for the second row. For the third row, the minimum cost is 4. The next minimum cost is 5. Difference is 1. So the penalty is 1. For the fourth row, the minimum cost is 1. Next minimum is 2. Difference is 1. So the penalty is 1. Now same way we have to find penalties for the columns as well. For D1 column, the minimum cost is 1, the next minimum is 2, difference is 1, so the penalty is 1. For D2 column, the minimum cost is 3, the next minimum is 4, difference is 1, so the penalty is 1. For the third column D3, the minimum is 1, the next minimum is 2, difference is 1, so the penalty is 1. So for first stage penalties, we have found the penalties for the rows as well as for the columns. Now how do we make the allotments in this method? We look for the maximum penalty. In that, we look for the minimum cost. In that, we allot. And we allot again the minimum of supply and demand. So here we can see the maximum penalty. We have to look for both row wise as well as column wise. The maximum penalty is 2 and there is a tie. In the S1 source first row also the penalty is 2, in the S2 source second row also penalty is 2. So when there is a tie in the maximum penalty, then we break that tie in the next level of minimum cost. We see which maximum penalty is having the least cost. So for the first row, the penalty 2, the cost, minimum cost is 2. For the second row of penalty 2, the minimum cost is 1. So the least cost is 1. So we will make our allotment here at the cost 1, which is corresponding to the cell S2D3. So how much we will allot here? That is minimum of supply and demand. Demand for this cell is 8, supply for this cell is 18. So minimum is 8, so we will allot 8 here. Allotting 8 here, the supply of S2 source is complete. The demand of D3 is 18, so allotting 8, 10 will be the remaining demand. So as supply of S2 is complete, we'll cancel the S2 row. Now we will find second stage penalties. For the first row, again the minimum is 2, next minimum is 4, so difference is 2. For the second row, as we have cancelled it, so we will not find any penalty for the second row. For the third row, again it is 4 and 5, difference is 1. For the fourth row, again minimum is 1 and next minimum is 2, so difference is 1. Now column wise second stage penalties. The minimum in the first column is 1, the next minimum is 2, so the difference is 1. In the second column, the minimum is 4, the next minimum is 6, so the difference is now 2. In the third column, the minimum is 2 and the next minimum is 4, so the difference is again 2. Now in the second stage penalties, we'll again look at the maximum penalty. So this time maximum penalty is occurring at 3 places, in the first row, in the second column and in the third column. So in the first row, the maximum penalty corresponds to minimum cost, which is 2. In the second column, the maximum penalty corresponds to the minimum cost, which is 4, and in the third column it corresponds to minimum cost, which is 2. So there was a tie in the maximum penalty, and then we ideally go for minimum cost to break this tie, but in this case the minimum cost is also 2 at 2 places. For the third column, maximum penalty minimum cost is 2. For the first row, maximum penalty minimum cost is again 2. So in the minimum cost also this time we have a tie, and when we have a tie in the minimum cost, we proceed just like least cost method or matrix minima method, where we can allot more number of units. We make our allotment there. So in the first row, S1 D1 cell with cost 2, how much can we allot? Supply is 5 and the demand is 7. So minimum of 5 and 7 is 5. So we can allot 5 here in S1 D1 cell. Whereas in the D3 column, minimum cost 2, which corresponds to S4 D3 cell. Here the supply is 14 and the demand is 10. So I can allot 10 here. So as here we can allot more, so we will make our allotment here. So 10 will be allotted to S4 D3 cell here. After allotting 10 here, for D3 the demand is complete. For S4, 4 supply will be remaining. Now as D3's demand is complete, so we'll cancel the D3 column this time. Now again we'll find third stage penalties. We'll keep on finding the penalties till we either are left out with a single row or a single column. So now for third stage penalties, in the first row the minimum is 2 and the next minimum cost is now 7. So difference of 2 and 7 is 5. Second row, we are not going to find the penalties as we have cancelled it already. Third row, the minimum is 4 and the next minimum is 5. So the difference is 1. Fourth row, the minimum cost is 1 and the next minimum is 6. So the difference is 5. Same way we will find out the penalties column wise. For the first column, the minimum is 1 and the next minimum is 2, so the difference is 1. For the second column, the minimum is 4 and the next minimum is 6, so the difference is 2. In the third column, as we have cancelled it, so we will not find the penalty for this. Now in the third stage penalty, the maximum penalty is 5 and there is a tie at 2 places, first row and the fourth row. In the first row corresponding to maximum penalty, the minimum cost is 2, whereas in the fourth row maximum penalty, the corresponding minimum cost is 1. So where the minimum cost is least, we should allot there. So we'll be allotting in the fourth row's maximum penalty. The cell is S4D1 cell with cost 1. So how much we will allot here? Supply is 4 and demand is 7. So minimum of 4 and 7, 4 will be allotted here. Allotting 4 here, the supply of S4 is complete, whereas for D1, 3 demand is still left. Now this time we'll cancel the S4 row as its supply is over. Now still you can see we are left out with two rows S1, S3 and two columns D1 and D2. So still we have to find the fourth stage penalty. So in the fourth stage penalty, for the first row, minimum cost is 2, next minimum is 7, so difference is 5. Second row we have cancelled, so no penalty for it. Third row, minimum is 4, next minimum is 5, so the difference is 1. Last row again we have cancelled, so no penalty for this. Column wise, D1 column minimum is 2, next minimum is 5, so the difference is 3. D2 minimum is 4 and the next minimum is 7, so the difference is again 3, and the last column we have cancelled, so we will not find penalty for this. Now in the fourth stage penalty, you can see the maximum penalty is now 5, which is corresponding to first row of S1 source. Now in this the minimum cost is 2, so we will make our allotment here. Now for this cell S1D1 with cost 2, our supply is 5 and the demand is 3. So we'll be allotting 3 here. Allotting 3 to this, the demand of D1 will be complete, whereas the supply of S1 after giving 3 units, 2 units will be left. Now as the demand of D1 is over, we'll cancel the D1 column. Now you can see only one column is left out, that is D2 column. So when either a single row or a single column is there, we need not find the penalties further. Now in this one row, in this one column, we will allot at the minimum cost. So the minimum cost in this D2 column is 4. So we'll make our allotment here first. That is corresponding to S3D2 cell. So here the supply is 7 and the demand is 9. So we will allot 7 here. Then S3's supply will be complete, and for D2 column 2 demand will be left, and we can cancel the S3 row. Now we are left out with one last cell, S1D2 cell with cost 7. For this cell the supply is also 2 and the demand is also 2. So we will allot 2 here, and supply and demand is complete. And now we can see how many number of allotted cells we have got here. The number of allotments here are 6, which is same as m plus n minus 1, where m is the number of rows, n is the number of columns, minus 1. So we have obtained initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation method, which is in abbreviation also known as VAM method or the penalty method. Now if you want to see what is the total transportation cost at this stage where we have found the initial solution by VAM method, so we can just multiply the allotment with its corresponding cost and add the resulting products. So it will be 3 into 2 plus 2 into 7 plus 8 into 1 plus 7 into 4 plus 4 into 1 plus 10 into 2, that is 80. So in this case, in the initial basic feasible solution case, the cost of transportation is coming out to be 80. In the previous two videos, what we have done already, in the case of northwest corner rule with the same example, our cost was coming out to be 102, whereas in the case of least cost method, the total transportation cost was 83, and by VAM method we can see it is 80. So this Vogel's approximation method is one of the best method to find out the initial basic feasible solution. Unless stated specifically for any particular method, whenever you have a question of transportation problem, we always find its initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation method. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel, like the video and share it. And if you have any doubt, do post your query in the comment section. Thank you.